Hello and welcome to another New Reality Network Daily. I'm your host Thomas Lynch, and here are today's headlines from the world of virtual reality. In local news, the Flatpack Film Festival is set to return to Birmingham. This year's festival will see a new VR film project being included in the many Flatpack events being held around the city of Birmingham. The project is titled The Shared Individual and is a collaboration between film director Johan Jensen, producer Mads Damsbo and Swedish performing arts company Bombino Bombast. They'll be using a specially made camera which broadcasts live to the audience's headsets, and it will take place in Birmingham City University's The Shell exhibition space on the 6th and 7th of April. In business news, former Marvel CEO Peter Canillo has become the new CEO of entertainment technology company Uncorporeal Systems. Uncorporeal CEO Kool Wadawa said in a press statement, "Peter is a game changer, with an esteemed career leading major companies working in everything from entertainment to consumer goods. Peter brings us an unparalleled understanding of what customers need to embrace VR and AR. Uncorporeal are currently working on holographics and implementing it into current media platforms." In technology news, Facebook is making the headlines again, but on a more positive note this time. Facebook will be holding its annual two-day F8 conference for developers, which will include networking and workshop events. The event is being held in San Jose, California on April the 18th and 19th. There will be a very heavy focus on VR, with 7 out of the 50 workshop sessions and talks being dedicated to the technology. Interestingly enough, Oculus, who recently hit the headlines for the lawsuit filed by ZeniMax, will be running some of the VR sessions. They'll be talking about their new React Web VR application tools and providing updates on the development progress. Another conference taking place soon is the annual Games Development Conference in San Francisco. The conference is set to take place over 5 days from the 27th of February to the 3rd of March. Prior to the conference, the organisers have released a survey report that details the current state of the gaming industry. The 2017 report includes some interesting data in regards to VR. The report suggested that nearly 39% of developers are currently working on products, experiences and games for VR and AR. The report also highlighted that working with the HTC Vive headset is the biggest driver in developing VR content, with over 45% of developers interested in the HTC Vive. We now have a special report from our on-location reporter, Michael Smith.
Thanks, Tom. So today we're here at Birmingham City University, and because Facebook and Google have been making a lot of noise about social VR integration, we decided we're going to use the HTC Vive to test out this new app, VR Chat. So here's a look at VR Chat. So that's a brief look at VR Chat for New Reality Network. I've been Michael Smith, now back to the studio with Tom.
Thanks, Michael. In gaming news, you may remember we reported on Resident Evil 7's in-game statistics. Well, Capcom have now released official figures. The company announced that the latest entry in the horror game franchise has shipped 3 million units worldwide. These new figures suggest how many players are playing the game in VR, and the results are pretty positive. If we increase the total number of players to 3 million, discounting the fact that units shipped may not entirely equate to actual units sold, the amount of people playing Resident Evil 7 in PSVR would be around 280,000. That's an increase of around 150,000 PSVR players from the 133,000 currently registered on ResidentEvil.net. In other gaming news, Fallout 4 game director Todd Howard has reassured fans that the development of the game in VR is coming along nicely. In an interview with Geeksaw, the director discussed the game's VR development in detail, which is reassuring given that progress on the game has been quiet since the initial announcement last year. Fallout is going great. There's a lot of work to be done, but it's super exciting, Todd said. You can play it from start to finish right now, and the whole thing really works in terms of interface and everything. The fact that the gunplay is a bit slower in Fallout 4 has certainly helped us, but we have VAT, so you can pause or slow down the world. We love it. Sadly, Todd Howard did not reveal an expected release date for Fallout 4 VR. Finally, here's a roundup of upcoming and new VR releases. First up is a movie tie-in experience called Life VR. The new experience will release in conjunction with its movie counterpart Life, which stars popular actors Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds. The upcoming sci-fi thriller movie focuses on a group of astronauts aboard the International Space Station as they try to survive an evolving extraterrestrial life form on Mars. The VR experience is set to replicate the events of the film and will be releasing on all major VR platforms on March 24th. On a more musical note, critically acclaimed violinist Joshua Bell has released a brand new VR experience. Joshua and his team from Sony utilised the latest in 4K recording and 360 audio engineering to capture Bell's performance of Brahms, Hungarian Dance #1, alongside classical pianist Sam Haywood. Every inch of the Air Studios in London had to be digitally rendered and recreated to allow steady movement, an issue that many VR creators are still trying to overcome. The experience is now free from the PlayStation Store. And that's all for this edition of New Reality Network Daily. Be sure to tune in regularly for the latest headlines and news stories from the world of virtual and augmented reality. I've been Thomas Lynch, and thank you for watching.